Once the curation tracker sheet has been updated, as shown here as ongoing, we can move to the NROR data sheet to view the content. So the NROR data sheet consists of multiple columns, one which basically explains mentions the name of the content, the URL of the content, the level to which it is pegged to. For example, this particular angle sum property of quadrilateral is pegged to the secondary level, while this 20 set square is basically pegged to the upper primary and the secondary level. Then there is a column which basically mentions the subject, then the audience, whether the content is for teachers or it's for students or it's for both. Then there is a column which is basically describing the organization or the person who has created that particular content. So let's view a particular content. To view a particular content, you basically need to take your pointer to the URL column on that URL link. Place the pointer on the URL link. You will see a pop-up as can be seen here, and then click on that particular link which pops up. So you can see that a new link has opened. So as you will be knowing that this particular video is basically explaining a particular concept in maths, which is quadrilaterals. So after viewing the video, you might find that the content is relevant to a particular topic or subtopic mentioned in the table of contents. It will be either linked to a particular topic or it won't be linked to a particular topic in the table of content sheet. So for instance, this particular video is linked to the table of contents in maths subject. So what we are going to do is basically have a look at the table of content sheet. So table of content sheet basically mentions the topics and subtopics mentioned in a particular maths textbook. For instance, you can see here class 9 chapter 8 deals with quadrilaterals. The topic name is angle sum property of quadrilateral, and basically you can see that the content which we have viewed just now is mapped to this particular topic and subtopic. So we are basically finding this particular content to be mapped to a particular topic in the textbook. Then what needs to be done is we need to go back to the NROR data sheet and we need to approve this particular content, as we find that this content to be mapped to a topic or subtopic mentioned in the textbook. So we go to the column H, which basically asks whether you are approving this content. So as we find this particular content to be mapped to a topic or subtopic mentioned in the textbook, we basically click on the drop down menu and we select yes. Then we move back to the table of content sheet to fill the remaining entries. So as we find that the content which we had viewed is basically mapped to this particular topic, we need to paste the URL of the mapped content. Going back to the NROR datasheet, we basically copy paste this URL. This can be done by clicking on the cell and then use the Control C option. Control plus C button needs to be clicked on the keyboard. Then we go back to the table of content sheet and using the Control plus V function, we basically paste that particular URL. After completing this, the next entry which needs to be done is name of the content. So the name of the content is again provided in the NROR datasheet. You go back to the NROR datasheet and then we click on this cell which basically mentions the name of the content. Again we use the Control C option. Go back to the table of content sheet and then paste the name of the content using the Control V function. Then the next entry which needs to be done is basically the description of the content. So a one-line description based on whatever you have seen in the video, you can give a one-line description. For instance, we are basically talking about the sum of angles in a quadrilateral. So we can write the description as the video explains the sum of angles in a quadrilateral.